You wake up, clip on your $650 smartwatch, and by noon, the battery is dead. Not because you forgot to charge it, because it is 18 months old, and the lithium cell inside a sealed chassis with no access panel has already degraded past the point of daily use. You take it to an authorized service center. They quote you $199 for a battery replacement on a device the manufacturer stopped supporting 4 months ago. Your watch has been economically totaled by a calendar date. Engineers call this the built-in expiry loophole. Today, I am going to show you how to opt out. Look at the back of any smartwatch released in the last 5 years. There is no battery door. There is no access panel. There is no tool-free entry point of any kind. Manufacturers will tell you this is premium engineering, a seamless unibody design, a sign of modern craftsmanship. That is a lie. Sealing the battery inside a chassis is dramatically cheaper to manufacture than building a properly serviceable enclosure with real mechanical tolerances. It also guarantees that when the lithium cell degrades, and every lithium cell will degrade, your only legal option is to return to the manufacturer and pay for a full device swap. A lithium battery inside a sealed smartwatch loses roughly 20% of its maximum capacity every year under normal daily use. The manufacturer already ran those numbers before your device ever shipped. They know that by month 18, your watch barely survives a full day on a single charge. By month 30, it is a morning accessory you pull off your wrist by noon. By month 36, the cell is collapsing under its own chemistry like a lung slowly being filled with concrete, and the engineering team that signed off on that degradation timeline is already selling your replacement model in 17 colors. The second mechanism is the software cutoff. Every major smartwatch platform, watchOS, Wear OS, Fitbit OS, operates on an update window deliberately tied to hardware generations, not to actual device capability. Your 3-year-old watch is not technically unable to run the current software. The processor can handle it, the memory can handle it, but the manufacturer discontinues software support on a precise schedule, engineered to make fully functional hardware feel obsolete. Third-party apps drop compatibility. Core health integrations stop syncing. The device becomes a clock. An expensive, locked, non-upgradable clock still sitting on your wrist. The third mechanism is the charging cable. Apple has redesigned the magnetic charging connector for the Apple Watch across multiple hardware generations. Fitbit discontinued replacement cables for legacy models within 18 months of new product launches. When you take your watch to an authorized service center and ask about a battery replacement, they hand you a bill for $199 for a device that originally retailed for $450. The math forces repurchase. That is not a product cycle. That is a precisely engineered extraction schedule running on a timer the manufacturer set before you ever signed the receipt. But the hardware trap is only the mechanism you can see. The real extraction is running quietly in the background, 24 hours a day, pressed directly against your skin. Every smartwatch sold today is equipped with a continuous biometric collection array, optical heart rate monitors, blood oxygen sensors, and skin conductance electrodes that map your stress response in real time. Manufacturers will tell you this data exists to help you make healthier decisions. That is the surface answer. The complete answer is that your wrist is generating a behavioral and physiological profile of extraordinary commercial value to parties who are not you. Your sleep architecture, your resting heart rate trends, your cortisol response patterns correlated to location and time of day. Data brokers, including LexisNexis, have been documented purchasing aggregated health behavior profiles sourced directly from consumer wearable ecosystems. They resell those profiles to insurance underwriters and use them in actuarial pricing models. Drivers across America watched their premiums double because their cars reported their braking habits. The same pipeline now runs on your heartbeat. You are paying $500 for the privilege of wiring your own body into a commercial surveillance network. And when the device hits its expiry date and the manufacturer kills software support, your data profile does not expire with the hardware. The watch becomes landfill. Your physiological record is sold forward indefinitely. There is a specific window of wearable technology that the subscription extraction model completely missed. Mechanics and financial pragmatists who have studied this market call it the pre-subscription era, running from roughly 2012 to 2019. Devices built inside this window carry modern sensors, accurate GPS, and real health tracking capability. But because they were designed before the major platforms locked in their data harvesting architecture and mandatory cloud account dependencies, they carry none of the digital poison baked into every device sold today. The Garmin Instinct is the clearest example. It has a user-replaceable battery. No mandatory cloud account is required to activate the device. It uses a standard charging interface. Physical buttons only, no touchscreen to delaminate under a summer sun or shatter from a minor drop. The Garmin Instinct launched in 2018. A used unit in excellent condition sells on eBay today for $60 to $80. It will still be tracking your runs and heart rate in 2035 without a single subscription payment. The Casio G-Shock does not need your Wi-Fi password. It does not ask you to create an account. It does not route your movement data through a server farm owned by a company whose primary revenue model is selling behavioral profiles to third parties. It is built to a military durability standard that consumer smartwatch manufacturers abandoned the moment their finance teams discovered recurring subscription revenue. A G-Shock costs between $50 and $120 new. It will perform identically in 15 years. The Fitbit Charge 3, released in 2018, represents the last generation of Fitbit hardware built on a closed local sync model before Google completed its acquisition and locked the platform into its data collection ecosystem. Buy one secondhand now. Open eBay or Facebook Marketplace. Search Garmin Instinct or Fitbit. Charge 3. Filter for barely used or certified refurbished units. Your hard cash ceiling is $100. Here is how you execute the loophole. You do not walk into a carrier store. You do not tap your card at a glass display table surrounded by promotional screens. You do not finance a device on a 24-month installment plan designed to outlast the manufacturer's own software support window by 4 months. You look for the physical indicator checklist, a standard micro USB or USB-C charging port, no mandatory smartphone pairing on first boot, physical buttons, tool-free strap removal, and no subscription paywall blocking core health features on day one. When you find a device that clears every item on that checklist, you are not compromising. You are not buying a worse product. You are severing the data pipeline. You are exiting the surveillance architecture that was quietly draining your bank account and profiling your biology simultaneously. You are cutting the connection between your wrist and the insurance actuaries who were preparing to price your coverage using your resting heart rate as a risk variable. That is not a budget decision. That is a principled exit. If you are learning something here, hit subscribe. I cover the engineering traps and financial extraction mechanisms hidden inside everyday purchases every single week. And the smartwatch industry is not the only one running this playbook. The exact same built-in expiry architecture is operating right now inside the appliances in your kitchen. A quiet rebellion is building on wrists and in garages across the country, and it starts with knowing exactly how the expiry clock was set. Now you do.